looking at the events that have taken place and stepping away from a piecemeal program and trying to build a stronger, holistic, integrated program that includes supply chain disruption and vendor solvency and other components that are more outward looking than just that vendor relationship. I think internal audit has to take a holistic view of the program. So they're uniquely situated to do that, right? Because they have that bird's eye view of the organization. They can see across, the business units, across the functions. And so they need to assess whether there's a clear vision, and as well as, is it robust and clearly defined in the framework for that vision to support the program? So they really need to look at that and say, has the organization considered this holistically? And then have they set up that vision and the framework and the program to be able to manage that holistic program out from just that vendor into what is happening throughout all of the supply chain and other areas. And then I think they need to assess the operational resiliency around supply chains and outsourcing strategies to make sure that there's enough focus within the organization on key areas that affect third-party risk management. Because it's not just looking at a vendor and what is the risk to the organization for the vendor. When you're talking a strategic program where you are now outsourcing key components of your business, you need to understand all of the implications around that holistically. And so that operational resiliency, it's become very clear, is important and impactful. So how is the organization managing that? And then I think they also have to consider the program through the lens of the associated risk landscape, and ensure that the vendors are being evaluated and then reevaluated based on the changing risks for the organization. So if you see that, a risk that wasn't anticipated to be impactful has become impactful, you now have to relook at those vendor relationships and determine that if that risk has changed, has that vendor's risk changed in relation to the organization?
I think Dawn's points are so strong. One of the things that I pull out of what she just said is essentially that internal audit is the arbiter of the enterprise risk management program inside of an organization. And they've had to think beyond the boundaries of what third-party risk was so that they can better advise organizations and provide perspective and context and recommendations on how to improve the operations in that bigger capacity. And the other part I pulled out of what Dawn said was the supply chain risk and resiliency and operational needs there that's really, really taken hold in organizations. So I think those are excellent points.